All right, welcome back. On the first episode of the Innovator this year, we focus on real estate innovation, assisting with correct estimations to reduce on construction waste. KTN's Techie Brand George Tieno met the Innovator of Endelevu and filed this report.
The real estate and construction sector has seen a great boom in the recent years. This has been largely motivated by population growth and the need to meet the housing demand in the country. But as the sector grows, waste has become a menace. This is due to the uneven estimations for building materials, pushing up the cost of construction. It is this challenge that led innovators now come up with Endelevu, an application aimed at curbing wastes. Endelevu is Swahili word meaning sustainable.
10% on the minimum of every materials that are delivered for construction projects end up in being waste. So take for example that if you had 100,000 tons of steel, that 10% of it will become waste. That means you're talking of about 10,000 tons of steel that will become waste. Let me give you an example with a particular material that we have statistics already we have analyzed. I will give you the case of cement. Okay. Yeah? Cement we consume as a country, in the year 2020 we consumed about 6.7 million tons of cement. Now of those cement I will take just a particular material, the cement bags. Those cement bags that once we consume the cement, it means we are throwing away over 800 million bags of cement every year, and that one either ends up into the rivers, they are either in our drainage channels, and then they are blocking. We did our calculation and realized that if we were to collect all these bags of cement that are generated every year and we were to repurpose them and engage youth in building fences for our schools, and 41% of our schools in this country are not fenced, we would be able to every year build fences for 2,400 schools every year with the waste bags of cement that we are generating from our industry every year.
The platform was founded a few months ago as both a web and mobile application.
So the Endelevu as a solution deals with these two problems I've mentioned in 4 different ways. Number one, it helps to contribute to waste reduction in the construction sector by providing a digital calculation tool. So people can go on, visit endelevu.africa, the website, or download the app on their phone, and then they are able to calculate the material requirements. Number two, they are able to also donate excess or waste materials that they have to social infrastructure projects with these schools, or even sell these materials. Then number three, we are also involving the youth. We train them and engage them. The unemployed youth graduating from our universities and colleges, we train them to be able to repurpose those waste materials into useful materials that we use for constructing facilities. And one of the facilities that we are really building at the moment as our flagship programs is Nyonyesha Hubs. These are lactation and childcare facilities that we are building in learning institutions, in colleges and universities across the country, to provide environment for taking care of children and breastfeeding the young ones.
Being a startup in this part of the world, funding is a big challenge.
We have faced a lot of challenges. Number one, of course, this is a very expensive affair. So we really had to invest a lot as a firm in terms of human, financial resources to build the system. Number two, of course, this is a new innovation. So we don't have structured ways of people looking at waste. We have a cultural issues that people think about waste is a problem. Waste is inferior. So it is something to be dumped. So there has to be a lot of awareness to sensitize people to see the value in waste. There are concerns about the quality of what would be developed to this. So we have had to do a lot of outreach to the regulators like NEMA. We are reaching out to NEMA. We are having conversations with the National Construction Authority and the different stakeholders within the sector to be able to appreciate that waste is not just an inferior material, but it is a valuable resource. And we are very grateful that the National Construction Authority have already done a study that actually acknowledges waste as a resource and wants to encourage sustainable management of waste from the construction sector.
Despite their challenges, the government has been supporting their actions through the National Construction Authority (NCA). The collaboration has enabled them secure more partnerships.
The NCA is quite supportive because last year they did a research and they recommended the need for creating a digital platform to help people trade and exchange construction material. So when they learned that actually as Nico Green we have developed an Endelevu platform, they are very supportive because this responds to one of the gaps that they have realized. And we are still in conversation to see how this can be mainstreamed in the practice within the construction sector. We have reached out to the universities, especially with regards to the social programs we are developing, Nyonyesha program. There is a very good reception by the universities. So far we have 5 universities that are really committed and are very appreciative to look at how the materials that are lying idle within the campuses like University of Nairobi, KU, University of Kabianga that are already responding, how we can repurpose those waste materials within their universities first, their institutions, but also what comes out of it to make good use of it while allowing their students who are learning in theory an opportunity to have hands-on learning experience, building something that is of value for their own fellow students and staff.
So what is their business model?
First is for the fundraising part. I didn't mention that we also have a crowdfunding function. In the crowdfunding function, those who have projects that want to use the Endelevu to mobilize funds to construct facilities for social infrastructure facilities, we have a system access fee. So we have a percentage commission that for every donation through the Endelevu, we have a percentage that is for running the system. And that is very transparent. If we know you're donating, for example, 1 million through the platform, we have a percentage that is a commission fee that will help us to run the system. That is one way of us generating revenue to run the system. Number 2, we have our construction division and the partners that we are working with that will employ these young people to engage them. So for those who don't have project construction partners, we also offer our division and the construction partners that we are working with that they will be involved in the construction, repurposing these materials and building those facilities. And they would earn what would be the normal profit for any other construction business while engaged in the construction.
And for the budding innovators out there?
As a nation, we have very brilliant, motivated young people with ideas. First, I don't believe that young people should be unemployed in this country because we have a lot of problems that need solution. We need to be bold enough to innovate and go for it. Challenges notwithstanding, believe in it and begin doing something about it. Don't wait for the opportune moment. Start with what you can.
For the Innovator this week on KTN News, I'm Brian George Otieno.
Incredible innovation right there in the level. Well, with that said, we've come to the end of business today, but ending on a lighter note. Somebody has just sent here a meme. They're saying, "Memaliza sherehe, have you finished partying? Haya twende basi. Above the school fees, below the shopping, across the rent." Anyway, if you get the joke, you get it. If you don't, it's still okay. I'm Nokip Kimboy. Have yourself a good afternoon. Up next, you have New Year KTN. Stay tuned.